Live yet. Here now we're going live. Hey, welcome to the Business Small Business Show.
Okay.
See, Eric got it started right on time rather than when I hit the go button. He was halfway through a conversation. I didn't know what to do. But I'm Kevin from Brisbane Small Business. We've also got Eric Allgood from the Australian. You got lots of different things in there. Give me the name of the business one more time.
Small Business Assistance and Advisory Service. So we give advice to small business on things that affect them.
He's not a government department. He really is his own business and very, very super practical about helping small businesses. And that's why we've got Eric on. Janie Grant from Ditto Dancewear originally, but now from
AussieMadeScrubs.com.au.
Hey, how's that for a pivot during COVID-19? I think it's pretty damn awesome. Now, it is absolutely wonderful, but it's also given you a few headaches, hasn't it, Janie?
Yes, it was a process of what I call quick start thinking, that we're clothing manufacturers anyway. We had scrubs patterns. We can make scrubs instead of making leotards. That's sort of like easy sort of stuff. So we got our pattern.
Combine the two?
Hey?
Could you combine the two and have leotard scrubs?
Well, I can see scrubs and masks and theatre caps being used in concerts at the end of this year.
I reckon that will happen. Absolutely.
They will do it. Some schools will do it.
A little bit more serious about this. So Ditto Dance, where you were doing stuff for a lot of theatre companies and a lot of, including the Queensland Theatre Company, as well as you were doing school uniforms and corporate uniforms and all that sort of stuff before COVID happened, shut down, nobody's buying any dancewear stuff, and you've gone, crap, I need to be doing something that's needed, yeah?
Yeah.
You've pulled out your old patterns. You've found one from, let's say it was a little over 10 years ago now,
yep.
Where you were making scrubs. And that was before a whole lot of manufacturing left the Australian shores. Now, in the crisis that we're in, people are going, hey, yeah, look, maybe we need to supplement the offshore stuff with onshore stuff, which has created a fantastic opportunity, but it's also created a bit of a dilemma for you and your business in getting it up off the ground, yeah?
Yes. Yeah. People need to find it.
and that's where we welcome Eric back into the show, because literally this is the kind of problem that Eric solves on a daily basis.
Yeah, and so the problem here that you're facing, Janie, is actually not a marketing problem, even though it's part of the marketing mix. It's actually a sales channel. So it's a certain section within marketing itself. So my first question is, how many people would you be able to deal with every day and still get orders through?
You're asking me
how much admin time do you reckon you could put aside?
Admin time that I can put aside, as much as I need to.
Yep.
Give me enough reason. At least a couple of hours. And currently, because of COVID,
at least a couple of hours.
Yes, because currently, because of COVID, Michael McIntyre would say I'm faffing around. So I can unfaff more conducive to earning money.
And so this is where a lot of small businesses, this is how they think. So you've given me the answer I was expecting there, and it's not quite 100% correct, because as you go and as you get the work, you can't do the admin thing. So the question is really loaded to kind of say, if you're going to be dealing where a lot of scrubs are going to be bought, so into the health system, then if you deal directly with the health system and every hospital and every surgery and even every vet practice and so on, then for each time someone wants to ring you to place an order, if they all rang you, you would not have the time outside of being on the phone or answering the emails to actually make the scrubs. So is there a way you could streamline your sales channel? And is where you've got some choices. You could do that way, or you could do you know of companies that are already selling into where you want to sell other things, where you're not competing with each other, that you could actually sell to? Say, for instance, Kevin was already selling into Queensland procurement for things going to Queensland Health. If you were to then team up with him, because he's not doing scrubs, he's already got all the contacts. You've got one person that you're contacting, and they've got all the contacts that you can get to. And so think about, how am I going to get to these people? But then once I've got to them, because you can outsource and buy a list, you can do all these sorts of things. But once you've got them, how are you going to maintain manufacture? And so how many would you be able to manufacture a day, give or take?
If we were talking purely scrubs, I could probably, at a push, without expanding, just utilizing the current people I've got, we could probably get 500 sets a week. That sets tops and bottoms.
Okay, so if you to take too much time out of that to be doing admin and ordering and putting all that together, how do you can deplete that 500 and then have to grow quickly with extra staff?
Yeah, well, yes, I would need extra staff. As soon as life goes back to normal, then the normal part of the business kicks back in, and this goes from being what we're doing right now to make do to it becoming a major, not even a side hustle. I'd end up with two things side by side, and then I've got competition, and I've got we used to call it we had a name like a nest. We had a corral full of machinists that could do the work, and over time, of course, attrition happens, and you end up with less people because of the industry that we're in, and people go off and do other things. So you've got a stable. That's the word I was looking for. So then you're out looking for more people to be able to do the work. And there is a thing, Eric, about there's a retail stream and a wholesale stream.
Yes, and that's exactly what I'm alluding to. Could be retailer straight through to the people that are ordering, which is part of what your website will be anyway. And I love the fact you've aussiescrubs.com.au, and I'll try to say it a few times so that way people. So Aussie Made Scrubs.
Aussie Made Scrubs.
I'll write that down here so it's in my notes. Aussie Made Scrubs. So I love that, because then that's putting it out there. It's Aussie made, and again, under the current circumstance, good way to put off what will be a lack of trust of imported goods for a period of time after this.
Yes.
During the peak of we'll call it buying, or out of normal range buying, I was actually in a Coles supermarket doing some shopping, and obviously there was no pasta. At the time there was no pasta, no rice. Although there was one section where there was this huge amount of pasta, and then I thought, well, why is that there? They must just know it was made in Italy, and at that point in time, Italy was going through a massive spike in COVID cases, and everyone saw Italy and thought, well, I'm not buying that because the pasta might have COVID, not realising that it hasn't just come off a sneezing Italian. It would have been in storage for long enough to not
probably
be
6 months or so. Absolutely.
So pivoting and leveraging off that's really good.
And I can just go back one step there. So basically, we've broken the business down to what could you systemize and automate. Now, Janie, you already have an online store for your clothing?
Yes.
Now, when an order comes into the online store, is that automated so that you can take their money, the order comes straight to you, you can get to making it?
Yeah, it's Shopify.
Cool, awesome.
For scrubs, they just order what they want online, pay for it, do their shipping, it's all done. It's a standard online order form. We come in the next morning and it's sitting on the printer.
You don't even have to talk to them.
No.
That's exceptional. That's exceptional.
Introvert's favourite business. Absolutely. So, and I know what an introvert you are, not. Janie, so perfect. You've then got your stable already.
When you're dealing with...
So with your stable of machinists, you can staff that up and staff down?
Sorry, can I take the numbers up and down?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, I've got contractors working for me. So and it's a little bit horses for courses. Different girls do different things. But yes, I have a group, but if this was to become major, then I would need more.
And you can employ them full time and all that sort of stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah. And
I just hope
but not me.
I just hope there'd be no horsing around in that stable. But now we'll go back to the more serious people of Eric. I just wanted to go back and verify those last couple of points.
Yeah. So I love the fact you've got the automation. Thing is, when you're dealing with any form of government department, they're not going to purchase online and that. They're going to want to be able to email, fax, or whatever their orders. And so there was a lot more admin time. So the fact that you can scale up and down with people, and for the record, if you need more people, I do actually have many contacts where I could possibly get you more machinists.
Oh, okay.
And we'll talk off air later, but I've also got people I could probably introduce you to with regards to getting into Queensland Health and so on. Mm-hmm. So, but in the meantime, you've got to think of what is the sales channel that's going to be most effective for you. So getting into Queensland Health itself will be potentially not having one point of contact, multiple points of contact will want a lot of your time, or finding someone who already supplies where you've got the one point of contact and let them deal with everyone else. It's not a case of one of them's right, one of them's wrong. It could be the second one where you're dealing with one point of contact is your stepping stone. So that way, whilst you ramp up and whilst you to the period, to the number of people and the capacity that you need, you just have that one distraction as opposed to having multiple distractions. Mm. That makes sense?
Yes.
A different sales channel then, in thinking about this, I love where this is going, would be someone who's supplying into doctors, vets, and dentists and the like.
Absolutely. 100%. Again, I mean, dealing with individual doctors, vets, and dentists is actually going to be a little bit easier insofar as individual surgeries for those will be likely to actually just get online, post their order, because it's not a bulk thing. So for a hospital, they're going to want to do a bulk order of, 500, 600 or whatever's at a time. Whereas if you go to, and I'll have a quick plug in case someone's for listening, but Tuong Dentist, if you're going to a dentist, and I will introduce you to them, then essentially they're not going to want 500. So they're going to make a smaller purchase and get online, bang, done, and then it arrives. And so that fits into the model you have. But if you're going to go to the grander scale and get into the government and into the big bulkier supply, then I would urge you to consider finding someone that you can actually piggyback off in the first instance. So that way you don't get inundated with just time-consuming, soul-draining stuff that's going to stop you placing the orders. Because there's nothing worse than getting a big order and then spending so much time in admin you can't fulfill the order in the time frame that you've promised, and then you look bad for your first thing.
Yep.
Whereas going through Kevin and you get that big order, you might look a little bit bad to him if you don't get him everything at once, but he's already used to telling his clients, it's on back order, we've sent you as much as we can, it's on back order, we've sent you as much as we can. And so they're used to that. But if they're now dealing with a new person and they think they're dealing direct, then I can't do that answer. And that's why when you're stepping up, dealing through a wholesale or through another supplier can be a better way to protect your reputation, because it's not your reputation that's getting damaged. It's just the supply chain the way it is at the moment. It'll be accepted.
Mm. Yep.
And if they've got to wait 6 months before they
And so,
you know, 4 weeks, that's waiting for just 4 weeks now, that's okay. Top scenario.
Absolutely. But then it's not your reputation that's being hurt in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Over to you.
Is this helping you think about things a little bit differently,
Yes.
Janie?
Yes. Yes. I had a prospective client suggest that I get approved as an NDIS provider, because the people who are NDIS providers have a massive club of approved, the people that they look at, a bit like Brisbane Small Business. And but looking at the forms to do that, it's an absolute nightmare. I mean, it's talk about sell your soul. And on top of that, they audit you. So, and in reality, I'm not supplying to NDIS clients. I want to supply to NDIS providers.
So there is one of the gang in Brisbane Small Business that pops his head up every now and again. And if I had a better memory, I would know exactly who we're talking about, but I don't. And maybe he'll pop his head up in this stream eventually, or he'll come onto my radar soon. He's grown his business massively. He loves the group, loves helping out, very generous guy from that perspective, and he might be able to help us. So keep your eye out on the group for somebody who does supply a whole lot of NDIS people. I actually think, he's got a massive Southeast Queensland. I think he even supplies people all around Australia. So, I'm going to encourage you to keep your eye out on different posts, and he might stick his head up. And when he does, I'll tag you and make sure that I can connect you guys up. Yeah.
Yeah. The healthcare industry, I've never really put my foot in it past having done a few dentist uniforms in the past. It's huge. It's massive.
It is.
I'm a bit. I'm not overwhelmed, because I'm too old to get overwhelmed by much. But it's a bit eye-opening. Put it that way.
You're not that old. And Facebook user, sorry that I can't use your real name because we don't get to see that while we're on the show, but Facebook user actually has a list of NDIS providers that they're working their way through. So you may even be able to work with them to see if they can do, if you can do something. So I don't know what they do, but clearly it's not making scrubs.
Yes. Cool. That would be lovely.
And this comes back to something that I've been spruiking for a while now. As you know, Kevin, collaboration is the way forward. So find people to partner with and partner with them, because then you're leveraging off each other's like no trust with your user.
We just lost your sound.
That's a great idea, because if they're going through, then you've got more things to offer.
So, Daryl.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you now. So, Daryl from Darbeth, I know him really well. Janie, I'll put you and Daryl together in relation to that. There is another guy in the gang as well, but Daryl, very, very generous guy, also another one of the directory. So in relation to that collaboration thing, maybe if we had a directory of Brisbane Small Business members, that might help. Eric.
If we just had something where there was a directory where you could just go in and look and find people, and I mean, that sounds like a really good idea. Maybe we should put something together. You got any ideas, Kev?
If you could speak to anyone that knows anything look, I'll see what I can do. Now, guys, the reason that we put this show on is,
and I'll tell you what, I know Kev's pretty good. He'll have one up by tomorrow.
Oh, hang on. Here's one I prepared earlier. I'll put a link in just a second. Or just type in Brisbane Small Business into Google. You'll find it in a heartbeat. The reason we put this show together is literally to help Janie. And today, the point of today was to get her moving in the right direction, to get more consistent workflow for Aussie-made scrubs. One, I think that manufacturing in Australia, is something that we should be supporting, absolutely. Two, small business in Australia, something we should be supporting, absolutely. Three, I want to help everyone in the directory get as much business as possible. We actually already do have a directory. BrisbaneSmallBusiness.com.au. There is a small fee associated, or a small investment associated with it. In relation to that, have a sale, get a return on investment, positive return on investment in a heartbeat. And it is a way that we can try and break down the overwhelm of what happens when somebody says, does anyone know a blah in the group, right? That was the whole reason that we created that. I do want you to seriously think about supporting the group by joining the directory so that we can advertise your business, because that is what I want to do. I want to be bringing more of the Erics and more of the Janies who are looking for help and who can provide a great service together so that we can all do more business more efficiently and more effectively. And if we can spend more of our time helping each other out, then we're not going to be as affected next time a COVID-esque style of slowdown occurs, although I hope that we never have another COVID-esque style of slowdown. Janie, have you got any last questions?
And if you think also about how this collaboration is working.
What was that?
Sorry, I interrupted there, but if you think about the way this collaboration is working from Janie's point of view, I've got two clients and both produce clothing. So one manufactures children's clothing and Australian made, and they're boutique, and the other one makes bespoke evening gowns and formal dresses and all those sorts of things, and they're absolutely stunning. I would love to describe them properly, but this is the dress sense I have. I'm not going to understand when she speaks to me about what she's go, yeah, pretty.
Did you get that from the tube clothing manufacturer?
Pretty much, yeah. So the point is, because of these contacts, because of these contacts, it's these sorts of collaborations, because we're in a period where people are struggling to move forward, or actually, I don't always think it's struggling to move forward. I think it could be, not everyone's like you, Janie, who can think around the corner, and a lot of people are struggling to understand they still can go forward and how that works. And they believe that in this circumstance, all the three people that I'm going to be putting together in the next little bit, technically on paper look like they can compete, but they don't. And at the moment, they might be able to seriously help each other. And these sorts of collaborations, and this is why, and I speak it all the time, Kevin, as you know, the having your network is really handy, because I know when I'm looking for one of my clients, and record guys and girls, I'm currently technically for over about 200-300 small businesses that are in rural Queensland to help them COVID, and how do we do this and what do we do next? And I have been referring business to other people on the things that I can help set up, and this is why collaboration, this is why having such a directory is good, because when someone contacts me and says, I need this, and I'm thinking, yeah, I've got somewhere to go to find it if I don't already have someone off the top of my head.
And
it's not what you know, it's who you know, and it's how you think. And Janie, I think you've done a great job in thinking.
And I know as a fact that Eric has called me up after the fact and said, Kevin, I needed these people, so I just searched the directory and found some. Hope you don't mind. And I went, not at all. I think that's a great thing. So, so Janie, how else can we help?
I'm looking to be in. Well, there's two. I'm left and writing here for this gentleman and this gentleman. Give me the names. Yeah, give me the names. Happy to chat with people.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
We will talk.
Yeah,
more
when we get offline, we'll chat a bit further.
Okay, I'll sit here quietly and behave.
But thank you very much. I'm going to shut you guys. Go leave. I'm going to shut the show down, and so that we can talk on a slightly deeper level and continue this conversation. But thanks everyone that's watched it. Hope you've all got something and learnt something out of it. We are looking for more of these situations. We're looking for more different versions of Janie because I would love to be showing the expertise that we do have within Brisbane small business, showcasing that in a very real way where we're able to help solve some problems, but in doing so, hopefully giving people different insights and different ways of thinking about stuff so that maybe you go, maybe I could do that. And not everyone be making scrubs, okay? If you want to make scrubs, just call Janie on that one. But you'll get what I mean.
My last bit of advice to everybody, if I can, is the thing about innovation, the most brilliant that in all of history, in things that people, once this innovation was made, everyone else has looked at it and thought, hang on, why weren't we already doing that? So what you need to do is probably right there, and you can't see it because you're trying to move it aside to look through. So take a step back and take a good look, because there's plenty of opportunity. And Winston Churchill once said, never, ever let a disaster go without benefit or something. Never let a good disaster go by. I remember the quote as I went to say it, and then I just lost it. Sorry about that, guys.
Never waste a good recession. So yeah, let's all see how we can improve our businesses. Particularly, ScoMo's announced the three-step phase recovery. If you're not getting ready to get back to a new kind of normal, you could be left behind. So I'm going to encourage you to think about what could you do for your business that's going to help you have a better business by July. So that's our challenge. We're all going to say goodbye and leave you to get back to finishing off those last few things for the day. Enjoy your evenings, and we'll catch you all later.
Bye.
Bye.